I know that there's always going to be multiple balls in the air, especially because my kids are very active in multiple activities, and I want to be the one that takes them. I want to be the one that picks them up from school every day. And I also want to run this company, and I want to grow, and I want to keep our company growing. And if anyone can do it, why couldn't I?
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm always talking about. If I can do it, anyone can do it, and why can't you do it or anybody watching this?
Yeah.
It starts with going bigger.
I want this, but when the time is right. The time is never going to be right. The time it gives you the idea is when the time is right. Your job is to accept it.
Then I want you to build your want. I want you to get out a piece of paper and write your vision. Write it in all areas of your life. Don't just do one area. Write your whole life.
I really cannot relate to people who shrink, because that's not who you are. That isn't how you came into this world, and we are not meant to shrink. I'll never forget, because I was coaching people on the side at that point. I laugh at it now because of where I was. I was charging $100 an hour, and Bob says, I'm going to be in town for a couple days. Why don't you give me your card? So I gave him my card, and I was cringing giving him my card, because Bob's tagline was, tell me what you want and I'll show you how to get it. I had not that tagline, but something similar, and I saw Bob look at my card, and you could tell he kind of was laughing. Thought is the most powerful force in the universe. Every one of our thoughts penetrates the whole universe. Weak thought, weak signal. Strong emotion, strong signal.
It's not the fear that's the problem, it's the doubt, and you make a definite decision. But there is no decision without being in the spirit of it. When we're in the spirit of it, that's a decision.
The first thing we want to do is we want to make sure our expectations are high. And we want to hold ourselves to that standard of what my expectations are. And a lot of you might have a little weird feeling to what I'm about to say, but we want to be where the pressure is high, because pressure is an absolute privilege. And I don't mean heavy pressure. I mean where you are held yourself up to a standard that you keep improving and repeating that your old standard was your floor. That's a form of pressure, but it's great pressure. And then go where excellence is expected. When you're coachable, you don't take anything personally. It's just feedback. All it is feedback until you put a relation with it. A lot of people are clumped up and they're personalizing everything. Don't personalize. Let the ego over here. Leave it alone. I was telling you guys the first call, like philosophy, my life really started changing when I left my ego out of it. See, our self-image is a direct reflection of the results in our life. So if our goal is up here, then our self-image needs to match that. So we have to raise our self-image. Our self-image is the most important picture we have of ourselves, and it's in our subconscious mind.
Permanent paradigm shift is an identity change. You got to get this. Until we make it part of our identity, it's temporary. Improvements are only temporary until they become a part of who you are.
This is my favorite book of all time. It's called The Science of Getting Rich with Wallace Wattles. And there's a few paragraphs in here that I rewrote every day. And all of a sudden, my attitude started changing. I really started getting in control of my thinking, and I started creating discipline. If anything was out of harmony with what I want, I started saying no to. And I wouldn't just say no, it was a hard no. First of all, you've got to have faith and act on that faith. Because you don't do it, you're going to screw yourself. You've got to start being in integrity with your desire and not screwing around with it. If you don't make a decision within 30 seconds, you're not going to win. You don't deserve to win. And first of all, what happens is if you don't make a decision, the idea stays stillborn and you go in reverse. You cannot become a great leader if you're not willing to learn and grow. The greatest leaders are the greatest learners. I have been around some great leaders in my life, some great mentors. My greatest mentor, Bob Proctor, always taught me, you want to grow the most. As you grow the most, your team is going to grow the most. My journey of leadership all started with growing my confidence. And how did I grow my confidence? I became a great leader. I outworked everybody I knew. And that created so much learning inside of me that I implemented it with action, because ideas without application is delusion. If we're not operating at a 10 out of 10, we might as well take the day off. Like if you're tired, that's fine. No problem. Like take the day off because you're better off. You're better off re-energizing than giving a effort.
So I'd rather take the day off. And there'd be times that I'm like, I know I'm not here, I'm not present. And I would tell my assistant, I'm like, listen, you got to cancel my appointments. I mean, because they're not getting the best version of me. Today's book that I really wanted to recommend and strongly encourage you get a copy of is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I talk a lot about personal philosophy. Stoicism is all about philosophy, and philosophy is going to change your thinking. Get a copy of this book, study it, learn the wisdom in this book. It is absolutely fabulous. We're heading to the home stretch of 2023. And I want you to take a good review of all the wins you've had this year. Most people devalue what they've accomplished. We grow by observing our accomplishments and imagine how far we can go. Don't devalue it, review it, and keep your foot on the gas between now and the next 30 plus days. You could feel it because you're so connected to your intuition. Because that's what selling is. It's really connecting to the feeling inside. And the people who are not here, it's because they haven't developed here. We've got to develop right in our heart. That's where we have all the answers. But you have to be focused on the person. You can't do it if you're focused on, am I making the sale? You can't do it in saying, and most people are not listening to understand, they're listening to speak. And so as you just stay and just are so relaxed, locked in with them, and just focus on what they're saying, you'll have it. And then we got to make sure you have the right sales process. The biggest risk you can take is taking no risk. I want you to stretch, expand. Do not constrict yourself. Do not be rigid. Get in the spirit. Go show the world what you are. Now you're going to have to believe it before anybody else believes it. Here's the danger zone. If you're where you were to start the year, you're going backwards. Because we're either growing, we're going up, or we're dying, we're going backwards. See, everything is either creation or disintegrate. We never stay the same. This video is how to make the second half of the year be the best 6 months of your life. To me, it always comes out with your environment. Who is in your corner really watching out for your blind spots? This is where mentorship is absolutely critical. I want you to observe the first 6 months. Are you living how you want to live? Are you excelling in your finances? Are you building a much bigger idea of yourself? What type of experiences are you creating? If you want to do better, I will show you how to catapult your results. Get involved and talk to one of my top coaches. Come work with me, and I will take you by the hand and show you exactly what to do and how to do it. Direction is the key to catapulting. A quantum leap is your birthright. Who is in your corner right now? Have me in your corner, work closely with me, talk to one of my coaches, have a strategy session. We will show you how to get from where you are to where you want to go. The next 6 months is going to be the best 6 months. However, you can't do exactly what you've been doing and expecting different results. We want to raise your behaviors, raise your standard, raise your image, raise your activities. The time is now. Do it now, do it now, do it now. Thank you. Here are the 3 steps. Step 1, be aware of where the fear came from. It always starts with doubt. Step 2, we make a definite decision. This is where I'm going. And step 3, you get into inspired, relentless action with a level of swagger with it. And every day your swagger is going to get better. Every day your confidence is going to get better. And then you're going to be able to use it for anything.